Hello everybody, it's Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So I thought it would be a good and interesting video to do important information for you. So what you need to know at this time of you watching the video. This is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter when you find the video and watch the reading. You can take this more generally, that this is just something about what you need to know what's going on in your life. Or you could decide to concentrate on something specific that's going on in your life, maybe in your love life, in your career, or just a specific event or situation that you're currently in. It doesn't matter, you're just going to have to adapt what I say into your particular situation. And remember that it is a general reading and not every aspect of it will resonate with you completely. So just take what makes sense, what seems sensible and practical and would be of use to you, and that which doesn't make any sense, just let it go. It could be for someone else who's watching the video. So I set out three options. We've got option 1, option 2 and option 3. So I want you to get clear in your mind whether you want this to be generally in your life, what you need to know, or whether it's something specific. Then I want you to take a few deep breaths, relax, think about your situation or leave yourself open to whatever message the universe wants to give you. And when you feel ready, make your choice. Don't doubt yourself, don't overthink it, just trust your gut. When you're ready, go ahead and click on one of the timestamps provided. If you need a bit more time to do that, then please press pause because I'm now moving on to the readings. Okay, so you chose number 1. Before we get started, I want to remind you all that I've got my great book, Tarot Readings for the Star Sign. So the book is for every star sign. I've done a tarot reading for every month in next year, 2021, or maybe this year when you're watching it. It's a snip at $2.99 or whatever the equivalent is in your local currency. All you have to do is click on Amazon and buy it. It's easily read on the Kindle. It's already got a 5-star review. Yeah, a year's worth of tarot readings very cheaply. And if you're interested in learning how to read tarot cards, then I've also published a book, Learn Tarot, which you can also get on the Kindle. So, and to remind you all, I'm still doing private readings. So if you want to contact me, just send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com and I will get right back to you. Everything you need is in the description box. So let's have a look. What information do you need to know? I'm just going to read this as a whole, these cards. So we start off with sugar, sweetness, chili pepper, ferocity. Well, there's two contrasting images there. Broomstick, clearance, hex, banishment. There's a consistent imagery here. 9, the hooded man, which is the hermit. The 4 of bows, celebration. King of vessels, heron. 3 of arrows, jealousy. And ask for help from others. So what do I see here as a general message? That what you need to know is that you still have some work to do. Maybe you're heavily involved in shadow work. Maybe you're dealing with loads of rubbish. I think during 2020, the majority of the planet's been in lockdown. And if you haven't, you've been impacted by everybody else's lockdowns. And it's forced people to really evaluate their lives, what's going on in their lives, what careers they're doing, what relationships they're in. We've had forced, I just noticed that there. Enforced isolation. We haven't been able to communicate as we normally would. We can't socialise, we can't meet new people. So if you're really trying to find love, you're sort of restricted to online dating and maybe the odd in-person date. Lots of social isolation, social distancing. So what I'm seeing as what you need to know is that you have a lot of good things going on in your life. This is celebration and sweetness. If you don't feel that there's much to celebrate at the moment, remember the need to be grateful for what you have and sort of renew your affection for the things that you actually do have. So the good relationships in your life, the parts of your job that you do enjoy, or in fact, if maybe unfortunately you've lost your job, enjoy the time, although I know it's so stressful. I don't want to diminish what you're going through, but it's easy to dwell on the negative when in fact you've got a balance of positive and negative in your life. There's just one important thing that you're stressing about and you're focusing on far too much. And the message is, what you need to know is that you really need to banish and clear out the negativity. Maybe it's feelings of jealousy, but it could also be feelings of fear, or anything that's really eating up your emotions, eating up your heart, and you're stressing about. And you need to genuinely reflect on the good connections that you have in your life, the good qualities you have, the skills, the abilities, the qualifications. You have an awful lot to give and a lot to offer and a lot to deliver. And I think that you've, just like the rest of us, have had a run of effectively bad luck, restriction, and it's not always going to be this way. So whatever hardship you're going through, it's saying it's not infinite hardship, it's actually finite. It will be over. And they want you to keep your energy, they want you to be ferocious and to keep your passions alive, to have your self-confidence and your fire well lit. They don't want you to diminish. And I think a lot of you have just felt really dull this year, probably because you can't do the things you normally do, you can't travel the way you normally would, and you're just a bit too isolated, some of you. A bit too isolated, a bit too lonely, unfortunately, some of you. And what you need to know is that it's just not always going to be this way. You need to banish these negative, isolated feelings. If you've been spending far too much time on your own, you need to come out and reach for others, whether this is your friends, just to socialise with them, or whether you've got a problem. There are people around you that are willing to help, or if it's not directly your friends and family that you can ask for help, there's going to be organisations and charities and things like that. Because you really need to balance out your emotions. Some of you are already starting to do that, and you'll recognise what I'm saying. You'll recognise that you have been a bit quiet and dull and restricted, and that you want to reach out and be with people and to have something to celebrate. You are going to have something to celebrate. You are going to have something to celebrate, and it's because you're going to be banishing the negativity. I can't emphasize that enough. You've got these two cards that are saying clear out the rubbish, banish the negativity, banish, you know. You've got to accept that perhaps some of you have a part of you that at some point is going to feel sad, because one of the things that you hear a lot, like with tarot videos and law of attraction and spiritually based sort of people in that community, that they say, oh, remain positive, keep positive, you know. But it's really hard when your life is basically turned upside down and it's being shaken around like it's a snow globe. You can't remain positive because you don't know what the future is going to bring, or you can only anticipate problems ahead because you know that you can't work in the way you normally would, or you can't have your breaker of socialisation or travel, or you can't go to the cinema, you can't go to a concert, you can't go out and eat at a restaurant in a lot of places. It's really hard when that's happening. You know, people say remain positive. It's hard. So what you've got to do is focus on the things that you do have that do bring you joy, that you can, you know, think, well, at least I've got my cat, or I've got my dog, or I've got a good book to read, or I can afford to have Netflix or watch TV. And as frustrating as things can be, and I think there is some frustration, you can use this time wisely to clear out the clutter, to clear out the rubbish of your life, to find balance, and to really learn what's going to be doing you good and what doesn't do you good. And as I say, reach out to others if you need to. And you will allow the sweetness and the celebration to come through, because I think this is important for a lot of people. I've seen this as a consistent theme, that the time away in lockdown and the time of things not being, going into the workplace and stuff like that, is that we've all been forced to reevaluate how we've been living our lives and what's really important to us. And I think some of you are not resenting that, but you're resisting it. You're really resisting it, and it's saying, no, you've got to go through this. This is your part of your spiritual journey. So if things have been really tough, the moment you embrace that this is a spiritual journey and that you do need to get rid of some things that have been holding you back, this could just quite simply be your attitude towards yourself, where you're like, no, I can't do that, or that's not the kind of thing I do, or I shouldn't be doing that, I'll never succeed, all the nevers and I shouldn't and I won't and I can't. You need to get rid of them, you need to clear them out, because there's something that you can do that you really want to, and you need to get out there and do it. Ask for help from others, I think, is an important message for some of you. That if you need assistance in any way, there are other people out there to help you. And this is a really simple message, that if you've been doing your work on yourself and letting go of things that no longer serve you and are holding you back in some cases, if you're already doing that work, it's carry on. That's the important message. If you've not even started this work, then that's the message. You need to start this work to find balance within yourself and to allow the new and the good to come in. But for some of you, it's a long, bit of a lonely journey that you've been on, but you will do it. This is a very spiritually based message. This is very much about your spirituality rather than a tangible message to give you. Balance, that's overall, you must find balance between the good side and the bad side, or the positive side, the negative side. I think, it's a lot about learning how to deal with disappointment and frustration and not having what you want. And this isn't a bad reading. It doesn't have bad energy about it or anything. It's quite a positive message, an important one, that you need to find balance and recognise the good in your life, as well as acknowledging that you're going through a bad patch, and you will come through, and where you need to reach out to others. So that's it, really simply, those of you that chose number 1. I hope that it's helped you. I hope that it's made sense to you. Just realised you can't quite see at the top, I'm sorry. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. If you want me to be someone that you ask help from, contact me. My email address is in the description box, oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com, and I will help where I can. But otherwise, thank you very much for listening. You take very good care of yourself, and goodbye. All right, those of you that chose number 2, here's your reading. But before I start, I want to remind you all about my book, Tarot Readings for the Star Signs for 2021, which from my perspective is next year. Maybe it's the year that you're currently in, but it's a snip at $2.99 or whatever it is in your local currency. It's tarot readings for every single star sign for every single month in 2021, January through to December. It's available on Amazon for the Kindle, so all you have to do is click on the link in the description box. It will take you straight there and you'll be able to buy it immediately. It's a 5-star reviewed book. If you're interested in learning how to read tarot cards, I've also published a book, Learn Tarot. Again, the link's in the description box, so that you can get deeper meaning perhaps behind my tarot readings on there. Get ahead and buy it. It's coming close to 2021. You want to be prepared and to have a nice monthly tarot reading. Just to let you know, I'm still doing private tarot readings, so if you want to contact me about having one, all the information you need is in the description box. You just need to send me an email, and that is oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. So let's get on to the reading. I'm just going to read the cards as a whole. So Cinnamon, I do like cinnamon. Reignite, make sure you can see. Arnica, Recovery, I see a theme already. Mabon or Mabon, Balance. Cloak, Concealment. 10 of Stones, Home. 6 of Arrows, Transition. Son of Life, and No Need to Worry. So I feel that for you lot, you're coming out of the bad patch, the dark night of the soul, the rough patch. If you've been really hit by the pandemic, if you've been having other things going on in your life that have not been kind to you, or that you've struggled with, it's over. Or it's coming to an end very nearly. You need to know that you're coming out of it into a better place. Bad cycle, or a cycle has been completed. you're getting a resurgence in your energy. If you've felt down and not been able to fulfill your life purpose, if you've not been able to find out what you want to do with your life, or you've not been able to do the things that bring you true happiness, or pursue plans that you'd made, or anything that's happened, that you've just not been able to reconnect with who you really are as a person, probably because you've been stuck in your house or your flat for a while and you just can't get out and do things as normally you would. Whether you're going to be able to actually pursue the life that you led and get back to normal, for some of you, yeah. For others of you, it doesn't matter whether you can get back to normal or not. You've changed and you have sort of gone through the spiritual awakening. You've gone through the spiritual development. You've passed the test. You've passed the lesson. You've learned what you need to do. You've leveled up, however you want to phrase it. And you're coming into yourself. You're going to allow yourself, your soul, your ego, however you like to define yourself, you're going to allow it out. And you're going to feel this recognition that I'm trying to think, reignition, that's it, of a passion that you've had, a dream that you've wanted to follow. Maybe you believe in yourself. Maybe you've got through this bout of depression, and as I say, you're coming out the other end of something that's not been very enjoyable for you, is the best way I could put it. And you're finding balance between the dark and you're moving into the light. You're a better person because of it. You're a wiser person. You're a stronger person. This is really about spiritual development. I think you've been concealing yourself. I don't think you've been able to come out and do your thing. Maybe you could before. Maybe you didn't believe in yourself or have the courage before to do it. But now you do. You're in a sense coming home, and I think that's more of a spiritual home just as much as for some of you it's a literal home that you'll spend time with your family and close loved ones, you know. But you're definitely transitioning from one place to another. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't feel that you've made that transition yet, you're on the brink of it. You're coming to the end of the bad period and moving into the good one. And I mean, the message "no need to worry" is an absolute perfect way of complementing what the rest of the reading says. You're in recovery. And I mean, I think that's the best news I can ever give anyone when I have a tarot reading is, oh yeah, you're in recovery. You've come through the other side. It's all better now. And I think a lot of you haven't really revealed how bad things have been. I think you've probably been putting a brave face on it or a stiff upper lip. Yeah, this is really good. Because the Six of Arrows, the Six of Swords, is really about mentally leaving one place for another. You know, it's about a mindset changing. It's about letting go of something, you know, that doesn't do you any good, that doesn't serve you anymore, that's been holding you back, or just quite simply learning a deep, important lesson. You know, like you won't ever go back and be that person again because you know too much now. You've been through it, you've experienced it. You know, the planet will not be the same after 2020 because what we have learnt about ourselves and about each other during this time. It's a really nice, sweet, simple message. It's really a nice reinforcing one. You're not going back to where you were. You're going back to a much richer, more abundant, a place that's much more aligned with who you really are as a soul, as a person, about what you want to do with your life. Or if you're not at this point in time entirely sure what you want to do in your life, you're going to actually come to a place where you can find that out, you know, because you're in a much better mindset, because you're coming out feeling much more positive about things. You'll be open to new experiences, and you'll find new experiences, and one of them will be something that you can dedicate your life to. It's really positive. I mean, that's the sun. So the really good news is the sunny times ahead. You're moving out of the doomy moon phase into the sun. And you really have no need to worry. And I don't want you to feel bad or feel anxious. It takes a while, especially if you spent a considerable amount of time in this sort of fight or flight mode, or you know, what's going to be happening next? I've got all this uncertainty. I don't know what the future holds. What's going to happen? What shall I do? And you're not going to suddenly have that go overnight. It's not going to go, gone. You're going to have to give yourself time, a few weeks, even a few months for some of you, to get yourself fully out of the mindset that you're leaving into the abundant, positive one. So if you're going all right for even a few days or a few weeks and you suddenly have a lapse, forgive yourself, be understanding towards yourself. You spent a long time, I think a lot of you, in a bad mindset. And although you're coming out of it now, which is brilliant news, you know, it's left its bruises on you really sort of spiritually and mentally, you know, and emotionally. And you're just going to have to recover from that. And for some of you, it's going to be slow. Some of you will be quick. But some of you're going to have this moment where you just suddenly have a bad day because you're suddenly anxious that it's all going to fall apart. But it's not. You've left that behind. It's all over now. You don't need to go back. There's no point going back. You've got somewhere else to be now. And that place is wonderful. So focus on recovery. Focus on getting better. Focus on finding your balance and moving to this better mindset that's much more happier. It's much happier, much more abundant. And where you're not worrying about stuff, don't worry. Don't worry. So I'm going to have to leave it there because it's a nice, concise message for you. Beautiful one. I really enjoyed giving you that one. And yeah, let your desires be reignited. That will carry you forward. If you've got something that you've always had an ambition to do or that you've always desired to do, focus on that and it will help you carry this energy forward and get you through onto this new journey. So that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments section and so on. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okie dokie, those of you last but not least that chose number 3, I'm going to do your reading, but first I wanted to remind you all about my book, Tarot Readings for the Star Signs for 2021. From my perspective, when I record this, it's coming close to the end of 2020, and so you might want to go ahead and buy this, but for some of you, you're already in 2021, but don't worry, there's tarot readings for the entire year, from January through to December. Every star sign has 12 months of readings for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. It's a snip at $2.99. Amazon will convert that into your local currency. It's available to buy in Kindle, so all you have to do is click the link in the description box to find it. It's really easy. If you're interested in learning how to read tarot cards, maybe get an in-depth understanding of the cards that come up in these readings, I also have written a book called Learn Tarot, which again, the link's in the description box, and you can click it and buy that from Amazon as well. I also want to let you know that I'm still doing private tarot readings, so if you want one, you check the description box, it'll have all the information, and send me an email at oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I will be happy to hear from you. So I'm going to read all of these cards as a collective, as like a whole reading. So cumin, faithfulness. Eucalyptus, breathe. Wiccan, reed, ethos, or red. Moon, cycles. 4 of stones, protection. 6 of vessels, reunion. Ace of vessels, the water of life, and in the near future. Okay, so what is this important, your message, the important thing you must know about? I think what a lot of you, there's something that a lot of you are really worried about. You know, it's on your mind a lot. Let's face it, the pandemic, you could have lost your job. You could have had a relationship broke up. You can't get out and communicate with your friends. You can't socialise. You can't find new love or find a new job. You're worried about it. It's something that's pressing on you, or something that you're trying to do or achieve and you can't, and that's pressing on you. Whatever it is, it's bothering you. And the important information that you need to have is don't worry about it so much. it's saying that you're protected, that, there's a faithfulness here. It's saying have faith that things are going to pan out. And that's so frustrating to hear, I know. It was like, have faith, have patience. You're there 10 years after you tried to reignite your love life and meet somebody that's really compatible with you, your soulmate or whatever you want. And you're like, I've been patient for a decade and I'm still not finding anyone. But what it's really saying is have patience with yourself, because things happen, like the cycles, things happen because you do the inner work. You do the spiritual development. It's like with divine timing. Things happen in divine timing, not because you've got to sit there and wait for 5 years, but because you've got to go ahead and do stuff in yourself in order to be spiritually ready for whatever it is that, say, you're trying to manifest, for instance, or, you've got to be ready to make a success of a real true love story. If you haven't done the work, it's not going to come forward because you're going to ruin it. And it's the same if you're trying to get that dream job and you're thinking, it's just going to fall into my lap. It's like saying, well, no, you need to do the work. You need to be somebody that is attractive to your potential employer. This could be anything in your life. I'm just using these as examples. But this can be anything in your life that you want it to happen, or you're worried it's not going to happen, or you're trying to manifest it, or you're actually actively working on making it a reality in your life. It's an ambition. And you're just worried it's not going to happen. And they're saying, chill out. It is going to happen. It is going to happen. And it's going to happen in the near future. So you just got to trust the process. Like, trust the process of job application. Trust the process of meeting new people and going out on dates. And it's saying just take it easy. Don't put yourself under so much pressure. And I think it's you putting yourself under so much pressure. It's saying, to love life, to enjoy yourself. You are protected. So this is where I'm getting the feeling that some of you are really frightened of something happening. It's like you're frightened that you're not going to have enough money, or you're frightened you're never going to find someone, or you're frightened that you'll never pass the exam and get your dream career. It's saying, yeah, you will, but you're so frightened. You're like blocking yourself. And it's saying, relax. Because I think you have a good ethos. Because this is one of the things that with Wicca that I like. By the Wiccan law ye must. In perfect love, in perfect trust. 8 words the Wiccan read fulfill. Pin ye harm none. Sorry, I'm going to have to bring it close to me. And ye harm none, do as ye will, and ever mind the rule of 3, what ye send out comes back to thee. Follow this with mind and heart, and merry ye meet, and merry ye part. This is saying you've got a decent ethos, but you're sending out negative signals because you're so like, it's not going to happen, please let it happen, it's not going to happen, please let it happen. You don't have any confidence, I think, in yourself or in the process of what you're trying to do. And it's saying, no, if you're there thinking it is going to happen, I'm going to relax over it, I'm going to trust in the process, I'm going to be assured that I'm protected, because the message is you're going to be okay. And you're going to, I think, focus on the things that bring you joy and bring you love and happiness. And I think that's so that you are on the right vibe. It's like you're suffering unnecessarily. This may be self-inflicted. It could be that you're very anxious as a person, you're very stressed out, you're very unsure. This is all normal, so don't beat yourself up over it. But it's saying, no, you're going to be fine. You're well loved. People trust and put faith in you, and they want you to put faith in whatever it is you're trying to do. And the cycles is saying that you keep on, I think you keep doing this to yourself. I think actually a lot of you do manage to breathe and have faith, and then after a bit you feel shaky because you're thinking, why hasn't it turned up? Why haven't I got the job? Why haven't I met someone? Why isn't my business thriving? Why haven't I found new friends? And it's saying, no, if you just go in and you're doing things for the right reasons, and I think a lot of you are, I don't think anything you're trying to do is harmful. I think everything you're trying to do is for the greater good or for your own good. It's to be a good and the best version of yourself. As long as you're doing things with a pure heart and you're doing them with heart and for the right reasons, and you're not trying to do anything negative, trust that good things will happen to you. And people say like, oh, bad things happen to good people, which is true. We can't avoid that. But the positive mental attitude really will take you far and open lots of better opportunities that will mitigate how bad the worst case scenario can be. You know how often people say, oh my God, I thought it was going to be worse than that, you know, because they remained positive and they were like, hey, it doesn't matter if it's really, really bad, I'm going to still be okay. And I think this is a message you need to tell yourself, is that you're always trying to do things for the right reason, that you're actually a good person, that you have a good ethos, and that you will achieve what you want to achieve, you will get what you want. You've just got to trust the process. I can only emphasize that. It's all that keeps coming through. You've got to trust that the process, trust that it is going to happen, that what you're working towards is going to happen. And I think, you know, for some of you, you might be feeling, well, I want it now, and it's saying, well, it's not now, it's in the near future, but it is coming, and it is closer than you think, I suspect, a lot of you. And it's good. I think it's going to allow you to be the version of yourself that you've always tried to be, or allow you to reconnect with perhaps the younger version of yourself that didn't have all the baggage that you carry now, or allow you to reconnect with a dream that you had, or reconnect with family. And because it's the Six of Cups and the Ace of Cups, so it's like connecting to the past, but also, you know, reuniting with your younger version of yourself, and feeling abundant and feeling emotionally fulfilled and abundant, and there's so much potential there. And we've got lots of moon imagery, so in the near future might be in like a moon cycle, depends where you are in the moon cycle, but it could be that things take time because of the moon cycle. But for a lot of you, I think that you are in a cycle of feeling really bad, you feel really bad, and then you build your confidence and you work on yourself and you breathe in your faith and you trust the process and you trust that everything's going to go right because you're doing the right thing. And you think, and then I might get it by this point. And you get closer to this point and it doesn't come, and you're thinking, oh no, I thought it'd come, it's not working, why isn't it working? Why didn't it come the day I thought it was? And so you're just struggling. But yeah, the message is have faith. It's going to happen. What you want is going to happen. You are well taken care of. You're not isolated and alone. You're protected. It's not going to be as bad as you fear. And you're certainly doing the right thing. You have the right attitude. So take a deep breath, relax, and have faith in the system, faith in the process, trust in it. Because you are going to get it in the near future. And that's your message. I hope that it's helped you. Let me know in the comments section, subscribe, like the video, all the rest of it. But yeah, so I've had 3 very nice readings to do today, so I've enjoyed that. So you please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye.